What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 96 of the Gridiron Podcast, the only podcast in the world that combines all the grid of Formula One and all the iron of American football. If you can't tell by the title or you're new here, we talk about American football and we talk about Formula One on this podcast. Why? I don't know, because we're sickos and we love those two sports. Sometimes equally, sometimes one more than the other, depending on which is in season. But right now, it is all about I guess it was all about the Super Bowl. We're recording a week late. Sorry about that. Scheduling difficulties. Our NFL.com talent writer, Nick Shook, was at the Super Bowl, so he couldn't record last week. And also, our other host, Katie Caldwell, well, she was just too busy celebrating because her Seahawks won the Super Bowl. I am Sean Barie, your host. Joining me, as always, is the bald behemoth holding down the fort in the land. It is our resident NFL.com talent writer. No, dude, you have sleeves on. You don't need to curl for the girls.
We had to
Come
move
on, man.
the sleeves.
We had to move the sleeve.
I mean, I'm just doing what I always do, you know?
You wore sleeves. You forfeited your right to flex on the haters.
It's a sleeve hoodie, you're right.
That's
sorry.
Nick Shook, by the way, if you're not watching on Twitch or YouTube, which we do stream on. And then always, as joining us north of the border, our Canadian queen, Katie Caldwell.
Hello, friends. Again, I would flex, but I just don't want to embarrass everyone here, so we won't be doing that today. But it's
Well,
great
you're
to
also
see
wearing
both.
sleeves.
As we've just learned, turns out you can
You
move
can,
the
yes,
sleeves.
you can remove the sleeve up and then
There's
flex
no
on the haters.
rules. There's no rules here whether you can or can't wear sleeves. At least none that I was aware of. But I will say, despite our hiatus, the people have been wanting us back. They've been asking, where's the new
yearning for
gridiron?
it.
They've been yearning for more of Katie Caldwell, Seahawks fan, in their lives. And they're about to get it right now.
We appreciate that, people. Thank you so much. If you want to follow along, you can, and you can chime in on the chat. You can watch us on Twitch and on YouTube. Where are we at on YouTube, Nick?
YouTube.com/@gridironpod.
You can also hit us up on the socials. We're on Instagram at the Gridiron Pod, it's at Gridiron Pod on Instagram. That's IG at Gridiron Pod. And then we're on TikTok at the.gridiron.podcast.
It's
so hit
hard
us up
to
on
find
social media.
a username on any platform these days, guys.
It really
I try to
is.
make them all the same. We're all just over here doing our best.
Oh, you know
AI.
what, though? I did triumph over TikTok's terrible app. I finally changed my username to match the rest of mine. For the longest time, I was just some generic standard one from when I guess I had made a TikTok like 3 years ago or whatever. I finally got the name to go through.
Unbelievable.
What are you now on TikTok?
The Nick Shook, like I am everywhere.
The Nick Shook. All right.
Some
It all goes
places you're
back to
Nick
that-
Shook NFL.
That's true. That's because I have two accounts, which that's a whole other story. All right.
The professional account, and then there's the personal account.
Yes.
Party in the front, business in the back. Or no, sorry, reverse that. This is episode 96
Could you
of the
imagine
Gridiron
that?
So
Podcast.
much funnier.
It's like all this hair
Wait,
gone over your
strike
eyes,
it.
and then it's just
Reverse.
tight to
Skull
the
it.
back of the head. Yeah.
Honestly, in this day and age, I mean, it's called
Kind of a
fashion,
Gen
Nick.
Z cut, honestly.
It's-
It's like the
it's
broccoli
called-
Gen Z cut, the front swoop.
It's called fashion, Nick. Look it up. Don't be
I'm
jealous
wearing
just because some of us can have party in the front and business in the back.
I'm not
all right?
jealous. I'm wearing a short sleeve hoodie. Obviously, I don't know fashion.
Yes, we took a week off because, well, actually, we took 2 weeks off because of the Super Bowl. Nick was out there in Santa Clara covering it. We'll get into that. And let's start there, actually, because Katie is our resident Seahawks fan. And the Seattle Seahawks, for the second time in franchise history, are champions of the world. Katie, the floor is yours.
It could have been 3 times. Thanks, Malcolm Butler.
You
It's
don't have
still
to
too
think about
soon.
that anymore.
Sean,
The ghosts
unfortunately, you know
are
how sports
exercised.
works. You know we're never going to stop talking about that, right?
Really? I feel like it's like now's the time to.
Just like, am I ever going to stop talking about the extra Lewis Hamilton championship? No. Some things just never die. Defense wins championships, baby. I have never been less nervous for my team being in a championship, which was very strange, and I had talked about this.
Wow.
Yeah, honestly, I was so much more nervous, and I think we had talked about this on the pod. I was so much more nervous for the NFC Championship against the Rams. Like, that to
Yeah,
me truly
fair.
was
Yeah.
their Super Bowl, and I kept having people ask me, like, are the Seahawks going to win, and how nervous are you? Like, are you losing sleep? And it's like, no, I'm honestly really not. And then when kickoff happened, I thought that maybe I'd get more nervous, and I was just so excited to get it underway because it felt like it was always going to go that way because the Seahawks were that much better than the Patriots to me. And when you watch that game, you would never, ever know what the Patriots offense looked like the entire season. They were one of the best offenses all year. And that's how good the Seahawks... They
definitely were not in the Super Bowl.
No, and I think that's just where my confidence came in with the Seahawks of, okay, like maybe we do see Sam Darnold seeing ghosts, and maybe he turns back into a pumpkin, and all those tropes that we've been using throughout the season. But I still just wasn't worried, and then as soon as the game started, it was like, okay, this is how it's going to go. The Seahawks defense felt historic all season, and then when you watched it, it's how it played out. Like, that game is going to be a boring game if you're not a huge ball fan, and if you just tune in for either the playoffs or you're at a Super Bowl party and wanting to watch the halftime show in the game, like, that's not going to be the best game. I loved this game because there was never one moment where it felt like that wasn't the way it was going to go. Like, right from the kickoff, all through the game, it just felt like that was the way it was going to go. And there was one moment where it was in the fourth quarter and the Patriots had just scored, and then that's when
53 seconds, too. Yeah.
In 53 seconds, and then the announcers were kind of going, oh, okay, maybe this is where, maybe the momentum is shifting a bit, and then right away came that punt, and it just showed, like, okay, they're locked in even on special teams. Like, they were just so complete that in a moment where we're all kind of feeling like, hey, maybe this is going to be turned into a game, that punt happens, and right away the Seahawks are just like, no. Like, this is ours to win. This is our year. We are the best team in the NFL right now. And it was just so fun to watch. The vibes were so high. Like, watching Sam Darnold win was so fun. And then watching, like, the Super Bowl parade, and then he goes into Lumen Field, and he's looking around at everybody cheering for him, like, and Ernest Jones in the parade. Like, there were so many things about it that were just so fun. And I think I've talked about this before, like, when you cover the NFL in any sort of capacity, or sports in general, like hockey started to very much feel like this for me too, it can start to feel like work. Like, Nick, I'm sure more than anyone in the world, you have experienced this.
Oh, yeah.
But this was one where I very intentionally watched the Super Bowl by myself, because I don't trust any of my friends to lock in the same amount as I do. Where, like, if my team's in the Super Bowl, would I love to be out at the bar celebrating with a bunch of people? Because so many people in BC are Seahawks fans. Would I love to be in that atmosphere? Yes. Or if you're going to distract me, am I going to be there? No. So I got like $60 worth of appies and a bunch of beer, and I just sat by myself in my Seahawks jersey and watched it.
I love that for you.
And it was just such a lovely day because A, no one was bothering me, but B, the whole time I just felt like I knew it was going to go that way. And it did. And Bad Bunny was amazing. I shook my ass for 12 straight minutes during the halftime show. Like, all of that together was just a really enjoyable fan experience as a 12.
12's up, man. 12's
yeah.
up.
I wish I had a better response to all that. But, I mean, first off, I'm thrilled for you. I think I texted you when I was standing outside of Ernest Jones' podium, watching him carry a slightly lit cigar to his podium and set it down. It's like smoking, but I'm looking at him like, that thing's definitely going out.
That's not lit,
He's
no.
definitely going to have to light that.
What, do you need to top you off there?
Yeah, exactly. Like, pull out a torch, just take care of that. Yeah. I think
I'm
I sent you the
somewhere else,
congratulatory
also
text
slightly
then.
lit.
Yes, very lit, and rightfully so. And you're right. It was one of those games where, like, I saw afterward, it was like top 10 most boring Super Bowls, and this was like the 6th most boring Super Bowl because there wasn't a lot of change in win probability. And this goes back over like historical data and everything else, right? And I'm thinking, like, you just don't know ball. Like, and it's not that like I'm excluding you or trying to, gatekeep here. It's just that football can be beautiful in more than one way. It doesn't have to be 1 billion points for it to be beautiful. Mm-hmm. And what you saw was the best defense in the NFL with the best scheme in the NFL, coached by one of the young, I wouldn't even say rising coaches now because he has a freaking Super Bowl ring.
Right.
And they were just basically imposing their will on a Patriots offense that was very explosive, one of the most in the NFL during the regular season, had their struggles in the playoffs.
Yeah.
But, like, the way the Patriots played against the Chargers, the Texans, the Broncos, granted the snow kind of, messes with this, versus how they played against the Seahawks just shows how superior the Seahawks defense was to any other unit in the NFL in 2025. And it felt like the Super Bowl that they won, it felt like that it was theirs. Like it was justified. There was no disputing it.
And it felt like oh, go ahead, Sean.
No, I just feel like, too, because I was working that night and I'm cutting highlights. And, at halftime, I'm like, what do I have right now? Kenneth Walker run, field goal. Kenneth Walker run, field goal. Kenneth Walker run, field goal. I have nothing to show right now. And
Sad.
It felt like,
right.
Yeah, it felt like I was editing highlights from whatever Super Bowl that was between the Rams and Patriots back in 2019, where the final score was 13-3. Mm-hmm. But you're right, Nick. Towards the end of the game, you're able to kind of look at a big picture and go, the Seahawks dominated this game, and the way in which they did that is really beautiful to see. Football doesn't need to be a shootout, you're right, in order to be a complete game and something that is cool to see. And when you look back at this game, was it boring? Sure, but when you see how and why the Seahawks were able to win this game, you look and go, yeah, absolutely, hats off to them, because they played this perfectly.
It felt like the score to me was indicative of because they both went in with 14-3 records, but the Seahawks they were by far the better team to me. And the score eventually got a little bit closer, but it just never, other than that one moment, it never felt like it got that close. And it felt very representative of the NFC just felt so much better than the AFC all season and then throughout the playoffs. And then with how bad or boring that game was, we were also really spoiled throughout the entire playoffs of how many lead changes there were, of how many high-scoring games there were, of how many they were so exciting that this one, I get that if you're watching all of that and you get to this one, it's like, okay, maybe this isn't quite the same. But like for the Seahawks, there was so much lore that made it extra interesting too. Like for me, it wasn't just that they won. It was exactly who they had to get through. So like you beat the Rams to clinch the #1 seed. Then you beat the Niners. And then you beat the Rams again in the NFC Championship. Then you beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl in the Niners building. Like there was so much around it that like as a Seahawks fan, knowing any of their past lore is like, okay, this does feel really, really good. But even the individual performances, like Kenneth Walker had such an amazing game in a story where offense wasn't or in a game where offense wasn't the story, and he was still amazing. Like I started to write notes, and then found that I didn't really need a lot in this one. And then Sean, I had texted you this. It was just 3 words, and these were all of my vibes notes for the entire game was just belt to ass. Like that's just what it was.
That's what it was. Yeah, you're right. It's what it was.
And like Kenneth Walker, I think he deserved the MVP. I don't know who I would have voted for, because I feel like this is one where I would have wanted to give it to the entire Seahawks defense. But then when I break it down, it's like, okay, well, it could have been you or it could have been you. Like it felt unfair to give one over the other. It was like a defensive performance that I'll remember for the rest of my life. Like even more than the Broncos.
And that was the talk right after, which is funny because, when we did the NFL Daily shows on Radio Row and we did the preview show on Thursday, what we all kind of agreed was that what's going to win out here, talent or cohesiveness? And we knew the Seahawks were the more talented team, and ultimately talent and cohesiveness won out. And it was both in the Seahawks' favor. But what was funny about the way that the MVP was handed out, we're sitting there and we're like, I think halftime, we're like, has a kicker ever won a Super Bowl MVP? So we start searching and we're like, oh, only one special teamer has won MVP. It was Desmond Howard for the Packers and their win over the Patriots. And there was a good stretch there where it might have been Jason Myers to lose, because he was the only one putting points on the board. He was
putting them up, but it's not like he was making like a 65-yard. Like none of them were like spectacular to me.
No,
he was literally just like doing his job.
But that's where we were, is that we just couldn't think of anybody else that was making a direct impact.
But it was Kenneth Walker who was getting them into field goal range.
And that's the point I'm making, is that it was Kenneth Walker who paced the offense, who would rip off a chunk run here, rip off a chunk run here, and make a couple of guys miss, keep the offense moving so that they ended up in field goal range. They just couldn't finish drives, which the Patriots defense delivered a championship-level performance and got nothing to show for it because their offense was that horrible, which is a credit to the Seahawks defense and what they did, which is what led me all the way back around to who I wrote about. And I think that this could have been possible if the official score had not gotten in the way of my dream, which is that it should have been Devin Witherspoon. And it should have been Devin Witherspoon because of the role he played as like the tip of their blitzing spear. They didn't blitz a lot, but they blitzed more than they usually do. Maybe not in terms of percentages, but they came out with a more aggressive defensive approach than they had for most of the season. I think they finished with 7 blitzes, so it still wasn't a lot when you compare it to the rate. to the rate that the other teams did. I think it was 6 total sacks. Some of them were not with blitzes, coming.
No, they rushed for us so many times and got home.
That was the beauty of their defense, is that they were able to generate organic pressure by rushing for all season. They were also able to fit the run despite playing in nickel like 90% of the time because of the presence of Nick Eamon-Warry as a guy who could play in the box. That's why they were so special. They had the personnel grouping and the approach that no other team did. And you need the personnel to make that approach really work, which is what they finally came to this year. But I thought it was Witherspoon because he makes the early sack on Darnold. Then he has an early pressure that forces a third down, not Darnold, excuse me, forces a third down May throwaway and stops another Patriots drive. It seemed like every time the Patriots kind of flirted with putting points on the board, Witherspoon or somebody else in the Seahawks defense would push them back and reject them. No, I'm a bouncer in the club. I don't care if you give me a 20. The cover's 50, and you're not a girl, so you ain't getting in anyway, right? But what happened with the official score that pissed me off was in the fourth quarter, Witherspoon blitzes in. He sneaks between I think it was the right tackle and I think Henderson might have been the running back, or maybe Stevenson who was supposed to pick him up. They all picked up guys. There was nobody left to account for him. He gets right into the face of May as May is throwing and hits him, and the ball goes directly, deflects right into Chetna Nwosu's hands, and he takes it back for a touchdown. And that was like the dagger, the final real nail in the coffin to end this thing. And I'm like, oh my God, there's Witherspoon's signature play. He had these earlier plays. He led them to quick pressures, and they didn't give him a sack. It ended up being an interception. And I'm like, damn you, official score! You ruined my dream. As a defensive player, could have been MVP. Instead, it goes to the running back who deserved it, but one of those weird games.
More than just the Super Bowl. When we look back at this season, because again, this was the most improbable Super Bowl, I think, of the Super Bowl era, just in terms of, both of these teams were plus 6,500 at the beginning of the season to go to the Super Bowl. So this was one of the most improbable Super Bowls of all time. But when we look back at this Seahawks season, they were 9 points away from perfection. They lost 3 games by a combined 9 points.
Damn you, Jake Tunges.
That is insanity.
Week 1, Jake Tunges, damn you.
That is insanity.
We're all thinking it.
By the way, I think we're still burying the lead a little bit in the fact that Sam Darnold is a freaking Super Bowl champion.
And we're not burying the lead. We're not burying it because it's great for him, and congratulations. And I can't believe we live in that world, but we do. Actually, I can believe it. But the reason that it's not the top of the rundown is because, much like the back half of their season, much like the win over the 49ers, they didn't need him to do much. Now, he had to do a lot to beat the Rams, and he deserves all the credit in the world for that. He was the
story of the Rams, yes.
And he made some key plays in this game. He slipped some sacks. He had some timely scrambles, that sort of thing. But, he was not the reason they won the Super Bowl, which is why he doesn't get talked about as much.
And that's okay, though, because Sam Darnold is still a Super Bowl champion.
Team game, which is why the QB wins and the rings argument is always dumb when it comes to quarterbacks.
And I love the way he handled it afterwards, too, because he clearly appreciated the moment, but he wasn't making it all about himself. He answered the questions he was asked, but he didn't. You could tell he was kind of taking it all in, and he was talking about his parents. And that was, I think, a really special moment, just to see not what the moment meant to him, but just the gratitude that he had for being in that moment.
He's so easy to cheer for.
He is.
Even if you didn't watch a lot of him before, you weren't a huge fan of Sam Darnold, he's here now.
And the fact that he's the first quarterback from the 2018 class, which had Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, and Baker Mayfield. He's the one with the Super Bowl ring. And
didn't they try and sneak Josh Rosen into that graphic? I'm like,
yes,
what are we doing?
Josh Rosen.
He was in that class. He was.
Josh Rosen probably was sitting on the couch somewhere selling insurance after a 9 to 5 and just looking at that graphic going, Me?
Me?
They put him in the Dolphins. They put him in they put him in a Dolphins uniform too.
It was his last team.
Not even a Cardinal, not even the team that drafted him. They put him in a Dolphins uniform. Oh, poor Josh Rosen. Poor Dolphins too.
No, he's fine. He's on LinkedIn now. He's fine.
Anything more to get to in the NFL world, guys? We're in the offseason. League year starts in a little under a month now. We're not dealing with too much. Tyreek Hill was released. Bradley Chubb was released by the Miami Dolphins. Mike Evans is going to test free agency. Might stay with the Bucs. Might go somewhere else. Nick, can they franchise tag Mike Evans, by the way? I'm genuinely curious.
No, they missed the deadline.
Okay.
And he may have something in his contract.
I was going to say, is there some sort of, rule against tagging.
Well, no, the
veterans
deadline
that have
hasn't
been in the league
passed
12
yet.
years.
Sorry, the deadline hasn't passed yet, but they wouldn't do that. Because the money, it's not anywhere near what his market value is going to be.
They would have to
play
pay
one
him
more
like
year.
near $30 million.
Yeah, and he's going to command like maybe 15.
Yeah, exactly. Well, something to think about. We were just throwing that around. Could they? Maybe.
Robert Woods retired as a Ram
Robert Woods
today.
retired.
Shout out
Signed
to
a one-day
Bobby
contract.
Trees. Bobby Trees going to the tranquil forest of retirement, baby. Congratulations.
Oh, I didn't even know this. I'm hearing this for the first time.
And Indiana Jones.
Oh, that's sad.
You're telling me this for the very first time.
Eugene, baby. I actually didn't know that about Bobby Trees. I am finding this out for the first time.
L.A. lady. Playing for Sean McVay.
Well, Nick, let me ask you, by the way, because you were in Santa Clara, what was Bad Bunny's halftime show like in person?
Well, it's like Kendrick was much more made for TV than live, but I think the energy was a lot better than Kendrick's. No knock on Kendrick, but the communal feeling of it, the set design was incredible. So like the first 5 to 8 minutes before a halftime show starts is like they're setting up the set, so you're watching it all come together. And I'm watching all these people run out on the field dressed as tall grass. And I'm like, that is so much tall grass. Somebody, the tall grass has to dance. There's no way they're going to go out there and just stay in formation the whole time. I texted my little sister. I go, get prepared for a shitload of dancing grass because it's coming. Because, like, there was probably 150 people dressed as grass.
Oh, my God.
They didn't dance. The only thing they missed in the halftime show is the tall grass didn't dance, but it was electric otherwise. And the finish was really cool. The way they all ran to the end zone with the flags and everything else. That was all toward the corner of the field that I was sitting in. It was very cool. Just the vibes were good. The messaging and the scoreboard was cool. And then this is my first like truly outdoor Super Bowl that I've been to, because even Miami you have the canopy. Yeah. And the fireworks they shot off the top of the stadium, and they shot off like colored smoke too. Oh my God, it was awesome. I was like, I forgot how much fireworks makes this even feel, more special than it already is.
I can just imagine Nick not knowing a lick of Spanish, just in the stands going.
I mean, I'm not dancing like a middle-aged dad. Thanks, Sean.
I was somewhere dancing like a middle-aged dad.
But it was good. It was good. I think that we're in the age of halftime shows being more about TV. And the cool thing was they showed the TV feed on the scoreboard. When it wasn't in the background of the shot, they showed it on the scoreboard. Now, there was a period there where like they were doing a camera, like I was almost doing the 360 around him, and I was watching the scoreboards trade TV feed and then like the set background to like kind of, create the whole thing. So it was like blue sky, TV feed, blue sky, TV feed, TV feed, blue sky, like just back and forth, back and forth. I was like, oh, now I see what they're doing. But
I know, I was watching the whole thing and I'm just like, man, I don't know what he's saying, but he's saying it. Wow, this set design is really cool.
It was cool. Obviously, the discourse, which is just it's dumb. It's just dumb, but that's the world we live in. The only thing I got annoyed by was, and I get annoyed by every Super Bowl halftime show because of this, but especially in recent years, is like the conversation around the week focused on the halftime show. Like, I'm there for football. Yeah. And like, I'm getting texts like, hey, are you with all the Bad Bunny fans? I was like, no. I've been busting my ass all week covering the Patriots and doing shows on radio. I don't give a shit about the halftime show until it shows up, and then I'll enjoy it. That was the only thing that annoyed me, but that's just me being a curmudgeon, I guess.
Most famous person you bumped shoulders with in Santa Clara?
Good question.
Thank you.
I narrowly missed Martha Stewart.
Oh!
Narrowly
Hell
missed her.
yeah.
Narrowly missed her?
Yes, and I was very sad about that. I mean, I did an interview with Justin Jefferson. He gave me his PlayStation name to play Madden with each other, which was cool.
We love that for you.
Was
Yeah,
it easy this time?
just ran into random people. I don't know. I don't really have like a huge. Oh, fuck! I met E40, the rapper E40. That was cool. Forgot about that. Yeah, Jay-Z had a private party in my hotel.
Ooh.
Oh.
And I came back from the Madden party, and it was the hotel bar. It's a really nice one. And they wouldn't let me in. And I'm like, oh, it must be a private party. So then I'm like, all right, I'm just going to go to bed. I'm standing out in the lobby, and then E40 walks by, and I was like, yo. And so we end up taking a picture, and then I start, chopping it up with him. And I'm like, yo, who had the party in there? He's like, oh, that was Rock Nation. He's like, Jay was in there like 10 minutes ago. And I was like, oh, wow. Just casual, cool. And he's like, we're going to Shaq's party. Call the car. And I was like, I am not doing that.
Dude, that's awesome.
It's a good
I love
week.
how you led with, though. I narrowly missed Martha Stewart.
Dude.
I saw a few
I
people at
would've-
Radio Row take photos with her, and I was
Yeah,
deeply
I would have
envious of
framed that photo and hung it in my home if I
Yes.
would have met her.
By the way, the most annoying thing, I don't like Radio Row. I don't know if that's a hot take in 2026, but
Go on.
you have every radio station in the country just sending people there. And the one I was listening to here in Tampa, all they did was shit talk San Francisco. That's all they did.
Oh, it's almost like your station's from Florida.
I was going to say,
It's
that
just
sounds
like, they
real
weren't
Florida man
Yeah,
energy.
very
They
Florida
weren't
man.
In a
even-
derogatory
oh, well,
way.
you know, I couldn't walk anywhere. What city in the U.S. is
You can
walkable?
walk. I walked.
Like,
I walked 15,000 steps a day.
And that's the thing I know too. Like it's like every city. Every city has its problems. Okay, stay away from those problems, and you're gonna have a fine time.
Yes,
like,
there
it's
are
just
homeless.
Florida
what-
notably
Yes.
has no problems.
Yeah,
No
no,
problems.
Florida has no
Perfect
problems
state.
whatsoever.
It's an oasis.
Like
It's the
my
model for an
gosh.
oasis. Utopia. That's actually the nickname of Florida.
Like it's
yeah,
just
yeah,
it's
yes.
annoying because we're here to talk about the Super Bowl. We're here
Yeah.
to talk about sports. Heck, if you want to talk about Bad Bunny and the halftime show and the entertainment value of the Super Bowl, you can absolutely do that too. But when you're taking 15 minutes to talk about, oh, I saw human feces on the sidewalk, I don't care. I
Hey.
genuinely don't care.
Look, okay,
If that's
so
what you're going to talk about in Radio Row, shut up.
It's just
Yeah,
so
you should-
boring, and it's exhausting, and it's a trope.
Exactly.
That
Yeah.
it's so boring.
be better. Be better at your job. Find something else to talk about. There's all kinds of people you can interview. Come on.
Like, I can go to downtown Tampa and find the same thing. Like,
Yeah.
Tampa's a smaller city than San Francisco, so there's less of it.
That's probably my biggest takeaway outside of all the work that was done and the fact that I was waking up at 5 a.m. Tuesday and Wednesday Wednesday and Thursday to go to Patriots availability, which is in Santa Clara, which is like Cleveland to Akron away, which is a shuttle ride of about 45 minutes to an hour, which was actually painless if you got on the shuttle. My biggest takeaway from the week outside of football and work was that I hated San Francisco before I spent this last week in San Francisco. In my experiences in the Bay Area, I always just prefer to Oakland. Driving into San Francisco, trying to find parking, all that stuff, it was just annoying to me. My opinion has completely changed after staying there for a week. I had a great time. You can get great food anywhere, just a hop, skip, and a jump away. I found a fantastic dive bar. I got to spend all this time with my colleagues. Yes. Are there homeless? Sure, there are in any warm weather city. That's just homeless people need somewhere to live to survive. They're going to go where it's warm. It's a little bit easier for them.
And that's not their
Yes, did I-
fault. That's a policy
Like,
issue.
yeah.
Like,
Exactly,
like they
exactly.
don't want that.
No,
And
nobody
did
wants
that
to be homeless.
impact the Super Bowl? No.
Did I walk past human shit? Once. Yeah. It's like
And,
dog
Nick,
shit. Just
didn't
don't
that
step in it.
Didn't that just ruin your week? Didn't you just want to write an
Actually,
article
I
about
enjoyed
that?
it. I was
and
like, oh my God, it's a
lambast the NFL for putting the Super Bowl in a warm weather city in California.
As I was walking on the sidewalk, I was like, oh my God, human-sized turd. All right. And just kept walking. Like,
Could have been
it's
from
all...
a Great Dane.
But I was literally just gonna say, what if it was a Great Dane? I love that shot.
Maybe. I mean, I don't know, man. This thing was pretty big. But yeah,
Have you seen
otherwise...
Great Dane?
Yes, the city was great. I had a great time there. I enjoyed it a lot. The Madden party was at the Chase Center. That was a lot of fun. Got to see my people at EA. The Maxim party, I think I'm over that for good, Sean. I know since you have experience
We're on the
going to
wrong
that.
side of 30, buddy.
Well, can I go on a rant? Let me go on a rant
for
real
it.
quick before we
Floor's
transition here.
yours.
I know we're on the wrong side of 30, and I embrace that. But you can't tell me, Sean, you can't tell me, Katie, that 8 to 10 years ago, even less, 6 years ago, that you would go to a party and a DJ, and this pisses me off just about clubs in general, plays the same backing track for 30 freaking minutes and then just layers another portion of a song over it and then makes the smoke machine go off and then just does this in the booth while there's like 100 girls standing behind him all doing this with their sunglasses on. And I'm just like, okay, you must enjoy this. You got to be on some sort of drugs, which I respect. That's fine. But I'm just standing there like, can we play real music? To the point where I end up going to a different portion of the party where there's a separate room and somebody's just DJing with like actual songs and is like just going from one to the next and transitioning. I'm like, this is way better. I wish this guy in the main room was doing this because over here is way more fun, but there's people not really coming over here. I'm over the club DJ. I think it's the most overrated entertainment act in Western entertainment today. Because it takes no skill, no creativity. I don't know how you end up getting famous or popular. It's not like the DJs from 10 years ago. Like, we're not talking Avicii
back in
here.
our
Back
day.
in my day.
Back in my day,
Back in my
old
day,
man,
the DJs play music.
old man yells at the cloud. It just sucks now. And that was what really bummed me out about that.
I mean, I'm all about a dive bar now, man. I'm all about a dive bar.
oh, yeah. Same.
I love a good DJ set if they actually DJ, and then I'll be one of
music.
those girls in the crowd.
Like songs. Yes, exactly. Not just like.
Even that can work if you like do it properly. Even
Yes.
that vibe I still love.
It was
Just
like, here's a little bit of
go on,
Sean
give us
Paul.
something.
Yeah.
Like a little bit of a Sean Paul tease, and I'm like, oh, here we go, and then it's just back to
Sean
Paul.
Paul.
One of my coworkers is a DJ, and she's actually really good. And we were all at a Gasparilla party together, and she's like, "Oh, one of my friends is the DJ here. She comes on in like an hour. She's really good." I'm like, "Well, if you say she's really good, she must be." She was awesome, and she had a saxophonist with her, like to also play while the tracks were playing.
Wait, was the
It
saxophonist?
awesome.
Did
Yeah.
the saxophonist have red hair?
No.
Oh, because there's like a really famous saxophonist that will do stuff like that who has red hair, who's awesome. I don't remember what her name is, but she's
I don't think
amazing.
he had red hair. I can go back in my photos and
Hair
look,
color
'cause
also
obviously,
can change.
yes.
Shocking.
So it's possible, but no.
Valid.
I too
no, it
once
was
had
awesome.
red hair and
so
brown hair.
I'm on the same
You
wavelength.
had
there with
red
you.
hair, like
had
red
red hair.
or like
Yep.
auburn.
I've had
Yeah?
red hair. Yep.
Oh, we're gonna need to see photographic evidence of this.
I was a ginger when I was a baby.
As many
Aww.
babies
Straight
are.
up ginger, man.
As many babies are. Sean,
Yeah.
the strawberry blonde. What do you
Yes,
know?
Sean the Strawberry. Let's shift gears from the world of the Super Bowl and Katie's elation as a Seahawks fan. We move to Formula One because, yeah,
Formula
testing Formula. Yeah, right now it's kind of Formula.
Formula.
These new cars are kind of Formula.
Can we
testing.
lead with that? Can we?
Yeah, that's what we're leading with. Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
All right.
What did you want me to
Okay.
lead with?
We're in
Lawrence
agreement.
Stroll and the
Okay.
Epstein
All right,
files?
cool.
In a different world, Sean. I would love to actually lead with that. But that's for a different podcast.
Because he is. Anyway, testing in Bahrain last week and this week going on. This was after the. Did we even talk about the shakedown, or did we miss the shakedown during the Super Bowl?
We
I
did
think
talk
we
about
missed-
the shakedown.
We did talk about the shakedown. So the shakedown, are you ready for the shakedown, was in Barcelona. The testing, the shakedown was completely secret, no cameras, no nothing. Somehow times were still being recorded. I don't know.
But
Now
it's
we
definitely
actually-
not testing.
Yes, but
They
it's
were
definitely
shaking
not
down.
testing. They were shaking things down. Now we've moved over to Bahrain, where we actually are legitimately testing. Some things you're starting to notice with these new cars, because again, 2026, all new cars, it's all about, we thought it was all going to be about the engine. It's not just the engine, it's all about the battery. And Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton are not happy. Max Verstappen, or I forget if it was Max or if it was Lewis, said this is Formula E on steroids. Lewis said you need a PhD to be able to learn the rules, basically, for this new formula. Basically, what they have is a battery that powers 50% of the car, and it gives them a lot of power down the straights, but it drains by the end of that straight. And you know how you generate more power? It's a very nifty trick with the battery. You generate power and recharge the battery by braking. So
Makes
in order to
perfect
go
sense.
faster,
Well,
you have to brake more.
Do you know though that this has existed prior? That this is how they always charge the battery.
But it's more evident this year.
Well, now they charge in
with
Lyco
this.
too, which they did not do. Lift and Coast, they did not do that before.
So a lot of drivers aren't happy. Some are sticking up for it, like Lando Norris and George Russell. They're just kind of split down the middle here on, are these cars going to race well? Is this going to be boring to watch? Are fans going to be able to understand these new rules, like active aero instead of DRS, a boost button, battery stuff?
Battery stuff.
Battery stuff.
The Prius. Battery
Yeah,
stuff.
sorry guys if this is getting too technical for our listeners. Battery stuff.
But
No.
but that's like that's what the headache is
Yeah.
with these drivers and with fans like us too, because I don't want to watch an hour and a half long race where we're just talking about batteries.
Battery stuff. Battery stuff.
Great work, Nick. Like Fred,
Well,
looking
Williams is
around for a
sponsored by
battery.
Duracell.
Aren't they also having issues with the start?
Yes.
I saw Alex trying to do a start and then just kind of crashing out, and Pierre Gasly was basically saying, yeah, my feedback is you're going to want to tune in to the first race in Australia. Basically saying that it's going to be chaos. And I don't understand the technicality of it fully because I'm not a car expert by any means, but it sounds like they're having to do more things while they're sitting there waiting.
Yep.
And then
They have to rev longer.
They have to rev longer. And then if you're one of the back teams, when you are arriving, and then basically they do green flag, and then the lights go on, those teams are complaining right now because they don't have as much time to do. So that's what it sounds like they don't have figured out yet, is what are the teams at the back going to do about that with the start?
I wonder if they're going to implement some sort of rule that all cars have to be stopped in their spots for a certain amount of time before the lights can even come on, so that they have an equal amount of time to rev. Because that's what it is you have to rev longer and higher to get the car to actually start than before. And then they did a practice standing start during one of the testing sessions, and probably 40% of the cars maybe got off the line. Multiple others just sat there because they couldn't figure out how to get.
Hit someone?
Yes, it was just a nightmare. There was another one. I think it was Colapinto or somebody else who went from starting into first gear, second gear, anti-stall into the first turn.
Oh my god.
Someone made an AI-generated video of welcome to Australia, race 1, 5 red lights, and we're racing. And the cars don't move. They just stay there in their box revving. Okay, let's take you to lap 1 highlights. And it's just the cars still standing there revving in the box. I understand Max's complaints and Lewis's complaints because at the end of the day, this is a what, Katie? This is a motor race.
Oh, yeah, it's a motor race, Michael.
Yeah, this is a motor race. This is a motor race.
Is it math? What color is the red fire truck?
You saw my brain just short circuit.
And fans don't want to tune in to see
red fire truck.
Something that they're not going to understand. And I understand that, too, as a fan that wants to see just good racing. So I guess we'll see what happens in Australia. But, I mean, like any new regulations, it's going to be kind of learn as you go. When we went into this testing, we thought this was going to be a lot about the engines, and we thought the Mercedes was going to have a leg up. They do seem to have a leg up. The Mercedes engine, rather, is very reliable, it looks like. McLaren was doing, which if you didn't know, McLaren has a Mercedes engine. They were doing 140 laps a day. Oscar Piastri on the last day of testing last week did 146 laps, most of any single person that day. So it seems like these engines are reliable, at least from a Mercedes standpoint. One engine that seems like it actually kind of just sucks is Honda, which is in the Aston Martin.
Fernando Alonso back
GP2
driving a
engine.
shitbox.
They have an Adrian Newey designed car and a crappy Honda engine.
GP2 engine.
I love this for exactly one person on the planet.
Yuki Tsunoda.
No, Lawrence
What?
Stroll.
It's a joke. It was a joke.
Oh.
It was a joke because Yuki had his job with Red Bull because of his ties to Honda, and then he got the axe, and Honda goes to Aston, and then they stink. And you're like, yay, some sort of revenge for Yuki. It was a joke.
It does seem, I will say, though, I don't know how much Mercedes is sandbagging right now, and they have something to gain from sandbagging because remember it was them and Red Bull that figured out something with the pistons in the engine, and they're manipulating the pistons a little bit, and the FIA was no, this is legal, we'll make them change it next year. So Mercedes does have something to gain by sandbagging a little bit, and some have accused them of sandbagging, but we've also seen Ferraris top the time charts, Red Bulls, McLarens, Mercedes. It seems like if what we're seeing at testing is what we're going to see during the season, this is going to be an exciting season because it seems like we'll have at least those 4 teams fighting every race.
Katie, you're probably wondering why was I smiling? Because I just found the title of the episode. Episode 96, Manipulating the Pistons.
What is Detroit basketball have to do with this episode?
Exactly.
And also,
Kate
I think
Cunningham,
it's
our
the
next
Clippers
guest.
that are up to that, not the Pistons.
Yeah, very true. Very true.
Manipulating the Clippers. That's what he does with his beard. Just kidding. Haha.
But what's funny about this is, like, I don't want to look too much into testing because we really don't know. And it is easier to see the ones that are bad. Like, when I saw a photo of Lawrence Stroll storming out, I was like, yes, I love this part. Not Lance, but Lawrence, yes. I'd love to see that man mopey. But we don't know who could be sandbagging. We just don't know yet. Like, it makes, especially with the regulation changes, I think it makes the first race even more exciting. Can we talk about how the cars look for a second? Because I wanted to ask you guys about this. I hate how they look. I feel like they look small and compact and a bit weird and pathetic compared to last year. I don't know if that's...
She's size shaming. She's size shaming the cars.
Size does matter to Katie.
Size matters to Katie Caldwell. Caldwell. Katie Caldwell.
Is that only me?
Vroom.
Like, I turned it on and I was like, well, these look a bit pathetic. And then I'm like, give it a chance. Like, maybe.
So many opportunities for that's what she said.
And I was even afraid to bring it up. The cars.
All right, I'll leave it behind.
Cars are not as long. I don't know how to know. I knew you guys would make this weird.
They're clearly growers, not showers.
But are they going to be shower? Are they going to be growers? Because I feel like they look like the last iteration of the car. They looked so like big and mean and scary, and now they just look really like short and a little bit cartoonish. Is that just me? I think
They're
look
not that much smaller, but I see what you're saying.
I think
I
they're
feel
like
like
20
they look
millimeters smaller.
They're shorter. I feel like it looks noticeable. I feel like they don't look as like big and
so
mean
much
as they did last
self-control
year.
right now.
They're also not as girthy. I mean, at the same time.
There it is. Sean did it. I was gonna do it. Now he's doing it.
Do you know?
Damn it.
I was trying so hard to not use the word girthy, and then
I
someone
know.
else was going to use girthy, and I was waiting for it.
I'm just glad it wasn't me. I'm just glad it was Sean because I was just fighting my hardest to not do it. No, Katie, you're right. They do look different. You know what it is? I think you're mad about the wing shapes. I think the wing shapes mess with you because they look a little
but also it's the length of the cars.
smaller.
I swear, it makes them look really pathetic to me.
Well, then you would hate F1 in like 2010 because they were way smaller.
Yeah.
And
And never watch IndyCar either, because I got news for you.
They have windshields there. You know that? No.
It honestly
Yes,
did
I
feel
do.
like it looked more like an Indy car than an F1 car to me, my first glance. And I notably am not the biggest IndyCar guy.
Well, hey now. I'm a big IndyCar fan over here. I don't think they look that much smaller
Everybody has
than
one.
last year's car, but yeah, they do look more compact. I just kind of want to know how this active aero thing is going to work because we don't have DRS anymore, which was when the rear wing would open. Now the
Pour
rear
one out
wing
for
kind of
DRS.
slides open, but like flattens, and then the front wing flattens too. Like it looks like the drivers are going to be doing too much behind the wheel. Okay, it's going off the tracks real fast.
I was just pantomiming what active aero looks like. It's a lot
Also,
of
don't
up
the
and
wheels
down.
look insane? I'm sorry, I need to stop hyperfixating.
No, keep going. There's no
just-
fins in the wheels anymore. That might make you feel weird too.
Yeah, the wheels look
I
weird
never
to me
liked the
this year.
fins on the wheels.
No, the
I'm
fins
so
on the wheels
glad
were too
those are
much.
gone. Yeah.
Well, I hated it
I'm
when they
so
made the
glad
wheels
those are gone.
bigger a few years ago. I was like, why are they bigger now? They don't need them to be bigger.
See, and I thought it made
Well,
it look cool, but I guess I'm
But for Katie,
Yeah.
yeah.
all about size over here.
You said it, not me. Big and mean and scary versus
Big,
little and pathetic.
petite, and compact. Yeah, they are. I did use the word pathetic. Yeah, it's all
Petite.
Oh, Katie. I don't know how we could end the podcast any better than Katie talking about the size of F1 teams.
Cars.
Cars.
Yeah, cars.
Cars. We're talking
Somewhere
about
there was
machinery.
one of our listeners nodding, being like, "Finally, someone's made me feel seen. That these cars do look weird
Yep.
and worse than last
and
year."
We'll all have to acclimate.
Honestly,
and-
nothing looks as bad as those 20-teens cars that had like the wide nose. Nothing looks as bad as that. So I'll take this iteration of Formula One over the Ferrari giant nose car. Like
I want to
will
do a
take
side by
that.
side of each and compare because I can't decide. I need to see
We can
them
do
side
that
by
next
side.
week.
Okay.
On the Gridiron Podcast. That's what we call a tease. Anything else to add here, guys, in episode 96?
Sean, do you want to talk about your racing?
Oh, yeah.
Sure. Why not?
Do I?
Do I?
Boy, do I.
Sorry, Nick, what were you going to say first before?
Well, I'm just looking at a picture of the Cadillac car, and I really do think it's the front wing. The front wing is way smaller. And look, man, it's the way it presents itself. And first impressions matter a whole lot.
It's like a peacock
Katie likes
spreading
big
its
wings.
feathers.
Big wings.
Yes.
Big wing girl. That's what Katie is.
Sean, I would love for you to
Yes.
tell the listeners that someone won a trophy of himself.
I did, yes. We did a little racing down in Bradenton, Florida today for a special we got coming up on Fox 13 for the Firestone Grand Prix of St. Petersburg. And it was a cool story. We're featuring Karts for Kids, which is a great charity in the Tampa Bay area, which helps out kids that
Did you
want to
say
get
Cars for Kids?
Karts for Kids.
Oh, I'm like, don't make me sing
Karts?
that song. Don't.
Please do, actually.
1877 Cars for Kids. No, I don't want to get that stuck in our listeners' head, but I'm sorry, I thought that's what you had said, and some trauma went through my body from that commercial.
No, it's Karts for Kids, the number 4 kids. They do great stuff in the Tampa Bay community. So, yeah, we went down there to feature them, and we took a bunch of the Fox 13 reporters and anchors down there to kind of race, go through what a day at the track is like, and I think there were 11 of us total, and I started 11 out of 11, okay? We did qualifying laps, but I didn't register a time, and then qualifying didn't matter anyway. They just kind of, organized the cars however they wanted to. But I started P11 out of P11. 12 laps later, P2, baby. P2. And my team,
Yeah.
I was put on a team that I didn't even know. We beat the Nightsiders team. Even though I am a Fox 13 Nightsider, I was put on the morning team so we could have even teams. And, the morning team won because the morning anchor, Walter Allen, came in first. I came in second, and it was a cool moment where I almost spun out at turn 1, which was kind of like a hairpin, saved it, but then had to go off track, and I kind of jumped over this dirt bound. So, man, I was hitting the apexes a little too hard.
So you're saying you didn't bully a bunch of kids on track? That's just all I want to make sure.
This was all fully grown adults, all reporters and anchors here at Fox 13 Tampa Bay, and I proved that I'm one of the fastest guys.
What was the secret to your racing line, Sean? Why were you so quick?
Because I followed the race. Here's the thing. I knew what a racing line was before I got in a car today, and that was probably half the battle. Because everyone's trying to go around the corners and just try and drive. No.
Okay. Hit the
wide,
apex.
Wide, inside, hit the apex. Put your foot on the ground and do not lift until you cross the finish line.
Back of the grid to the podium, that's some Max Verstappen shit right there. That's
some Checo Perez shit right there.
I was pretty impressed
right.
with that because when they called us into the pits, I didn't realize where I was.
You got called into the pits.
Well, no, because the race was over.
Oh.
So we go into the pits, and there's 4 cars in front of me. I'm like, all right, 5th isn't that bad. And then I'm looking at him going, wait, I passed her, I passed him. And I was like, wait a minute. The only person I didn't pass is Walter. I finished P2. So, yeah, I'll take it. I got a trophy up there now, and yes, it's going to stay in my office. No, they gave me the trophy. I'm like, guys, I didn't win. I came in second. Like, no, your team won. I'm like, oh, cool. Wait, is this who do I give this to? No, cheers. You can have it. Oh my God, I have a trophy for racing.
Can you go get it right now? Can we see it?
Yeah, I can go get it right now. Hold on.
Oh, yay! Katie, I have a secret to tell you while Sean's gone.
What? We're
I
talking
heard
shit
that whole
about Sean.
story. Yeah, I heard that whole story thinking that he had won outright P1. And like you with the appearance of the F1 cars in 2026, I was disappointed to learn he finished P2.
For our listener, what are we laughing about?
Nothing. Continue.
Oh God.
Nothing.
For our listeners, this is my
Kart for Kids.
Kart for Kids
Oh, that was the
Pro-Am.
photo you sent us. I couldn't tell
Got
it
your
was a
logo
trophy.
down
Yes.
there and everything.
Yeah, man.
We
Shout
had
out
that
Karts
ready.
for Kids. Thanks for having us out. I'm a Grand Prix team winner. Came in second, but my team won first.
And as Nick Shook would say to Sean, if he was comfortable enough, if you ain't first, you're last.
That is fair. That is fair. But I will take a P2 after
God.
an 11th place start.
Katie,
Sean.
if I If I didn't know any better, I would have thought you're in PR because you handled that perfectly.
Sean, while you were gone, Nick was talking shit. I'm very proud of you.
Thank you.
The whole podcast isn't very proud of you. Some
That's
of
okay.
us other ones thought that it would have been more impressive if you went from back of the grid to P1. I'm not naming any names.
Hey, Nick, can I see
feelings over here?
Can I see your trophy that you got for racing?
No, because I don't have one.
There you go. So,
Because I
you know
haven't
what? Zip
raced
it.
since I was a child. I would love to race, though. Karting is awesome.
It was awesome. I felt so
Best,
bad, though,
dude.
because they shut down this track for like 2 hours, and there were a bunch of like kids that like are actually out there for like competitions. Like they were like legit racers in like the same karts you see all like the Formula One drivers grew up, racing. And finally, like we get out of the cars after like 2 hours, and immediately they're like, "All right, guys, step off to the side." And like all these kids go out, and they're like going 70 miles per hour down the straight. I'm like,
Hell yeah, dude.
What was
Alright.
your top speed?
I think we were going like 40.
And the restrictor plates on.
Yeah, I think we were
Canadians
we were going
journalists getting
40.
hurt.
People were spinning out left and right. My boss was right in front of me one time. I'm like lining him up. This was just during practice laps. I was going for the undercut, and he just spins out, and I immediately like just veer off to the left, cut some daisies. I'm like, I'm not trying to crash.
Oh my god, I wish I was there. I wish I was. No, I want to do this. This sounds so fun. Oh, by the way, in my defense, I'm not going to go get it, but I have memorabilia from winning 5 of the 7 F1 leagues. Okay, Drivers' Championship, so,
Nick, you know what? I will also tell you this.
What?
So part of the filming today was they had an actual race car driver from Italy take us through how to hit the apexes. Here's what a racing line is, and he's drawing
Here's
us in
trail
purple
braking.
market. Yeah, and he's telling us, hey, you don't need to brake here. Just lift off, carry your speed in, and then don't even think about braking on the last 3 turns. Just go flat out, and you can coast into the first corner. And at the very bottom, in purple marker, at the start-finish line, it said P1, Max Verstappen. So after the debrief, I went up there, and I took that purple marker, and I
too.
scratched out his name, and I said, sorry, need to update this. And I wrote Lando Norris.
Oh, that's what he
Come
was, Hamilton.
on.
And he's wearing the Lando shirt for those of you
Do, do,
watching on
do, do.
YouTube.
Lando
Max
Norris.
Verstappen. Don't, Sean, don't you dare.
Max
Lando
Verstappen.
Norris.
Oh, he's still 3 titles away.
I got World Championship T-shirt, Karts for Kids Pro-Am trophy. I'm a happy race fan right now. This has been episode 96 of the Gridiron Podcast. Thank you so much for listening and tuning along with us. You can see us on
Just tuning
YouTube,
along.
on Twitch, tuning along.
3 guys tuning along.
Just guys.
By the way, I forgot to
Guys,
mention at the
tune
start of
in.
the podcast, you can email us. You can email us. Yeah, email us at thegridironpodcast3. That's thegridironpodcast number 3.
Damn
Damn
those
And
those
other
those
other
other
two.
2. At gmail.com. We're on Instagram at gridironpod. That's on IG at gridironpod. Then on TikTok at the.gridiron.podcast. For Nick Shook and Katie Caldwell, I am Sean Barie. Remember, size isn't everything, guys, even if it is to Katie. We'll see you next week.
Good night, Ken.
Good night, Canada.